We are now in the knockout stage, and let's go to the half of the bracket that is pretty loaded. And we're going to start in round 2 with Wales versus the Netherlands. The Netherlands and Wales, both of them, first time in quite a while for each of them in the World Cup. Both of them will be pretty darn happy to be in round 2. Netherlands will be favorites for a lot of people, but I'm gonna count on Wales pulling it off one more time and a little more Gareth Bale magic to get them into the quarterfinals. Maybe betting with my heart than my head here, but I do think this could be one last glorious run from Gareth Bale and Wales here.
You gotta pass the torch.
And that Wales find a way to win and upset the Netherlands and get to the quarterfinals, which would be a magnificent story. And don't forget, 2016, Wales did make the semifinals of the Euros, so they are capable of getting deep in one of these tournaments. Then we have Argentina versus Australia. This is pretty easy. Argentina wins probably very comfortably. Australia will be thrilled if they get to round 2. Argentina are on a mission. No problems here for Argentina.
Yeah, that hurt? That hurt?
What the hell?
Yeah, it don't feel so good, does it? No, huh? Yeah, that's what happens, man.
Then Spain versus Canada, which if there's a second round upset to be had, I think Canada would be the team that'd be capable of it. But I do think Spain is ascending, and while this may not be the tournament for them quite yet, they're going to make a statement that the future could be Spanish once again. I think Spain wins here. And then that leaves us Brazil versus Portugal, which if we actually get that matchup, that could be the match of the tournament. My goodness, to have the two Portuguese countries fighting it out in round 2. That could be a final in a lot of different World Cups, and to have it in round 2 would be magnificent. But I'm going to trust that Brazil's got just too much firepower for the Portuguese. So it's Brazil that gets to the quarterfinals. That's a game that you wouldn't be shocked if it went extra time. I would be looking forward to that. I think everybody would be looking forward to that. So Brazil gets through just into the quarterfinals. And then we get Switzerland versus South Korea, which would be a bit of a surprising matchup since that would mean South Korea won their group and Switzerland finished second. Switzerland are very experienced campaigners, know what to do in these situations, beat France in the knockout stage in the Euros last year in 2021. Maybe the pressure of being a group winner and being expected to win by a lot of people, if that's what happens, kind of gets to the South Koreans a little bit. And if this does come off, if South Korea does win their group and Switzerland does finish second, it'll be very surprising for a lot of people, and there'll be a lot of pressure on South Korea. They haven't been past round 2 since they hosted the tournament in 2002, and I think a lot of people will look at them and say, if they win that group, they should win this game. But they're up against some very experienced campaigners in Switzerland who have found a way in group stages and knockout stages to advance. They beat France at the 2021 Euros when nobody gave them a chance, and when they were behind in that game twice, and they found a way to come back and win. Belgium-Japan, which would be a rematch of that epic 4 years ago that Belgium won 3-2. Well, I'd love to pick Japan to go through here. I really would, but I just can't do it. I feel like it might be the same kind of thing again, where there's a lot of goals, and because Belgium just have so much firepower that they just kind of squeak through again against the Japanese. I'd be something if we got that matchup again. I would be looking forward to that. That would be one of the great matches in this tournament. I'm going to take Belgium to go through Japan. I will be pulling for Japan if that's the matchup. So there you go. France and Belgium on the other side of the bracket is your other semifinal. So now we go to the other side of the bracket, and we have France versus England. That's a quarterfinal that doesn't have any backstories with that. Oh no, not the two old enemies for hundreds, if not thousands of years that have fought each other in all sorts of wars and things. There won't be any emotion behind that at all. What a game we will have if we do have France versus England. So why is France going to win? Well, their players are in better form. They've got the better defenders. They've got the better goalkeeper, in my opinion, even if Hugo Lloris is prone to a few howlers here and there. I definitely think they're better in defense. And even though England boasts Harry Kane, who's one of the world's great strikers, I'd still rather have Kylian Mbappe. And I just can't see how that England defense is going to stop him. So for that reason, I've got to go with France. I think France wins, gets to the semifinals. And who are they going to play? Is it going to be Switzerland or Belgium? It's going to be Belgium, because again, Belgium just simply has more firepower than Switzerland. As well organized and as disciplined as Switzerland is, they will not be able to keep Belgium out. And I just don't think they've got enough attacking ability to get past Belgium if that's what it comes down to. Which means we get France and Belgium in a semifinal, which we had 4 years ago. Won't that be fascinating?
Are you looking to move to the Maryland area of the USA? Shoot me an email. I can help you. There's no place like home.
All right, so we start the quarterfinals, and we probably start with one of the matchups that not a lot of people would have, Argentina-Wales. And I think this is where the Gareth Bale magic probably runs out. Against the team that I think is one of the best teams in the tournament. I think Argentina rolls here and gets into the semifinals. I just can't see Wales, as well organized defensively as they are, being able to keep Argentina out. And one thing about it, for all the magic Gareth Bale's got and for all the ways that they can score on set pieces, they are up against a very quality goaltender in Emi Martinez of this team right here, Aston Villa. And that's going to be the thing that makes the difference for Argentina in a lot of these games, is that they have quality in the back and in between the sticks that they haven't had before. So Argentina beats Wales. So then that takes us to Brazil versus Spain, which is going to be one hell of a quarterfinal if we get it. I think 4 years from now, I think I'd pick Spain, and I think I'd pick them confidently. And they do have the pace, and they do have the talent up front to maybe get at that aged Brazilian defense. I'm not sure they're quite ready to win a game this magnitude. And let's not forget, Brazil have a ton of firepower up front, and they have a ton of options, and they can play a variety of different ways, how they set their midfield and their attack force up. So I'm going to go with Brazil to beat Spain, which is going to give us a magnificent semifinal between Argentina and Brazil. So now we're at the semifinals, and somehow we end up with Brazil and Argentina in a semifinal, even though that probably should be the World Cup final, since these are the two best teams in the tournament, at least going in. Yet that's what we have. Brazil and Argentina, two very old enemies that have played some amazing matches against one another. They were the final in the last Copa America, which Argentina won. So what's going to happen this time? Well, let's understand the backstory. The two of them are getting ready to play each other in South American qualifying in Brazil. And then all of a sudden, just as the match is literally about to start, both teams are on the field warming up. The Brazil officials go crazy about some COVID issues. They pull their players off. They try to confine Argentinian players and sit here and say that they violated COVID protocols and all this other stuff, and it caused absolute mayhem. Stupid! Caused the match to be canceled. So there's that backstory going in here. So why do I say Argentina beats Brazil? Well, it's something that I referred to in the previous part of this prediction video. Brazil are relying on some very old campaigners in defense, and they're great players. Dani Alves, Thiago Silva, two of the greats that have played defense, won everything there is to win that you can think of in club football. But I'm not sure I'd want them guys in the back playing in defense against the likes of Messi and some of the other great players, Paulo Dybala, Lisandro Martinez, Lautaro Martinez as well. And I just feel like Argentina is going to be able to get at that back line, and they're going to find a way through, and that Emi Martinez is going to be the difference yet again, as he was in the Copa America final. He's going to find a way to stop Brazil and to make the key saves that need to be made. So I've got Argentina beating Brazil in a semifinal, which will be a titanic clash, finding a way to get through to their first World Cup final since 1990. So who are the Argentines going to play? Well, it's France versus Belgium, which we got 4 years ago. We're going to get it again. Just like 4 years ago, France is going to win again. Because for whatever reason, whether it's, tactics from the manager or just that mental edge that France has from being such a winning machine the last several years, even though they didn't make the final of the Euros, I think France is going to find their way through. they are just so hard to stop. From Mbappe all the way back with those attacking fullbacks that they have, with the steal in the midfield that they've got. France are so good top to bottom. And unless, we have a disaster of a game from the goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris, I just can't see Belgium finding a way to beat France because it's just not what they do when it counts. They get to this stage and then they just can't get past the semifinals. So I'm going with France, which leaves us with Argentina versus France, a mouth-watering prospect for a World Cup final. Argentina versus France. Argentina going for their first World Cup win since 1986. France going for back-to-back World Cups, which is very hard to do. So how does this game play out?
Here's some open and candid feedback.
I think it will be pretty cagey, as a lot of finals are at the start. Both teams don't want to make the early mistake. Both teams are going to be worried about the other team's attack and are going to try to do what they can to stop it. You're going to see a lot of crunching tackles and maybe a lot of stuff in the midfield. But at some point, one of these teams is going to go for it and try to win this game because they just have too much firepower not to do it. And I think for me, that team will be Argentina, and I think they will win. I think they will beat France. They will prevent France from winning back-to-back World Cups. They will win the World Cup for the first time. And it's going to come down. I think this could be the last great moment for Lionel Messi. He's not being asked to do as much as he's had to do these last several years for Argentina. Of course, don't forget, he actually retired briefly from international football and then came back to rescue Argentina and get them into a World Cup when it looked like they weren't going to do it. But I think this is his moment. I think this is the moment he's been waiting for his entire life, and I think now it's going to come. He's going to have that great game. He's going to have a Zidane-like final and just stamp himself as one of the greatest to ever do it. And I think he does it here, and I think that's what's going to pull Argentina through against a very excellent France team. France is going to make up in this tournament for what happened at the Euros, where they just choked away, for lack of a better word, against Switzerland, choked away the tournament. That's not what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be Messi brilliance and Emi Martinez making a few critical saves again. And it's going to be Argentina that wins the World Cup and sets off an unbelievable national celebration, because it's just hard to believe that as great a team as Argentina has been, as many great players has put on that blue and white shirt, that they haven't won a World Cup for that long. Well, they're going to finally do it. They're going to win this World Cup. They're going to beat the French to do it. I'm going for 2-0 Argentina. But I will have a French player as the player of the tournament. It will be Kylian Mbappe. But Julian Alvarez is somebody to look out for if you think Argentina is going to win the tournament. He's somebody that could be on that list. Messi certainly could be on that list as well. Neymar for Brazil, among all the many amazing attacking players that they have. But I'll go with Kylian Mbappe for player of the tournament, but for Argentina to win the World Cup over France. All right, you can watch the World Cup on Fox, Big Fox and Fox Sports 1. Your game times, with the exception of the opener on Sunday, which will be 11 a.m., are going to be 5 a.m., 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 2 p.m. for the regular group stage games until we get to the final group stage, and then you're going to have 2 games at 10 a.m. and 2 games at 2 p.m. Also, United States fixture, Black Friday, right, the day after Thanksgiving. If you're not too hungover from all the turkey and all the trimmings and all the other stuff, and you can play hooky from work, 2 p.m., United States versus England. And then the 29th, USA versus Iran to finish the group, also at 2 p.m. All the American games are at 2 p.m., which is a very good job by Fox Sports 1, and the World Cup organizers for doing that for us. So that is where you can find it. Be there or be square. Go US.
That's it. We're done, right?